4 drivers, 2 cars, 1 goal: to win. This is In the Pit with 3GT Racing.
In a business sport like this, you make friends and you make enemies. And Scott Pruett has been my friend since the very beginning. We've won championships together as co-drivers. We won the 24-hour of Daytona, and there isn't a more quality guy in the sport, or a guy that no one has achieved what he's achieved.
His feel for the car is really very finely tuned. So he finds little things that a lot of other guys don't necessarily see.
Before, it was absolutely an emboldenment. Right now, if I'm getting, like, when I'm entering, it's called a flip, maybe? So many things we're learning here at Watkins Glen with the RC F. And we're also getting into the season a bit. So we're starting to understand the car. We're starting to have that window that we like to run the car in, aerodynamically, mechanically. So when we come here, we're just expanding that a bit. Now that we've gotten, a number of races under our belt, we take all that data and get a bigger understanding of what we need and what we're looking for out of the car.
His attention to detail, both, I think, in his life and then in the car, are really greater than you see out of a lot of other people.
Scotty Pruett, one of the best, 5 overall wins at the Rolex 24, 10 total including class wins, and continues to perform at the top of his game.
When you look at this season, you had a quote at Detroit, you said you really felt like you turned the corner in this program at Detroit. What was it that you guys found?
Lexus RC F GT3, we've been just continually learning more about it. Every test, every mile, every race, every time we get it on track, we're learning more about what it likes and what it doesn't like. And remember, this was a brand new car this year, and there was no previous generation car to go off of. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. Team's doing a great job. And just focus on all the little pieces, because that's, once you start running at the front, it's all those little things that add up to try and get you to victory lane.
He won championships driving for our teams, he's won championships with me, and he's won with Ganassi and Roush and everybody else in the sport. So we all have to acknowledge that that's his ability. Now we're in a different environment. He's not the godfather, he's the consigliere of the team. Scott, who really is a lot like Jack, his family mortgaged their house to get him an IndyCar test.
That was a huge sum of money. I mean, that was a massive sum of money. And the only thing I thought was, I can always make more money. But it was everything I had, plus, borrowing as much as I could from friends, and just rolling dice, put up or shut up.
When he went to the Jack Roush Gong Show in the early 80s, he came away as the fast guy. He couldn't buy his ride. He had to talent his way into his ride. Now, Scott's been a tremendous businessman and has been successful. He's got a great winery.
The wine business has taken off and has gone places where I never thought it would have. I mean, here we are, the highest rated Syrah in the United States, according to Wine Spectator. There's a lot of pressure. Should you do more? Should you do, well, I'm good, man. This is what I'm gonna make what I make. We released in October, we sold out in mid-February, and that's what we're gonna do. For me personally, it's a nice balance between this hectic, crazy, insane life of racing that you live in fractions of a second, in comparison to the wine business is something you live in years. Our vintages.
I swear he's saved every nickel he ever made. The only clothes he ever wears are clothes that a team gives him. I've never seen him in anything, it's not like he went to Neiman Marcus and bought that shirt. Somebody gave Scott that shirt.
Really, anywhere we go, it's always like Scott's got the most experience ever. I learned so much off of him, like always say hello to your family at home, you gotta do that.
You have been here, I mean, other than wood, horse and cart chariots, I think you've raced everything around this track, right? Indy cars, Trans Am, everything.
I've been around here in 962s, in XJR 12s, and XJR 15s, and now back in a Lexus, so love this place, love the fans.
He really goes out of his way to make sure that the team is going to get the best result, that I'm going to do the best I can, that even the sister car and all those guys are going to do the best they can. He's a really big team player, and I think that's what it takes to make a team in sports car racing, great.
You don't end up at his level at 56 years old without some internal drive. And that same drive also pushes the team. in as much as he's hard on himself and he pushes himself, he pushes us as well. When Scott asks a question, you better figure the answer out, because he's not going to forget.
He still wants to be the guy, so he's very competitive, and that's what John and the engineers on that side of the stand have to work with.
Hi to my family at home.